What's going on YouTube? Taco Stacks here, back with another vlog, and as you can see in the title, it's not good. I will dive into that shortly, but on a more positive note, I did pick up an angle grinder, which I know a lot of people have asked me, do I have an angle grinder? And actually, I looked around, I don't have an angle grinder. I have a lot of other tools. Angle grinder is not one of them. Picked this up, angle grinder, got at Harbor Freight, Chicago Electric Power Tools, never heard of them. I know it's not Makita, I know it's not DeWalt, it's not Snap-on, it's just a junky angle grinder. I don't know how well these will work. I know Harbor Freight, everyone makes jokes about Harbor Freight and how bad they are. Let's be real, I'm using this to separate metal once a week, if that. I thought it'd just be great to have. I know I have a cast iron, I have a cast aluminum grill that I want to separate, and this I think will be great for it. Yeah, so I picked this up. I think it was $20 plus the wheel was like $2. So yeah, definitely got that. I know a lot of people have asked me to get one, so I got one. I want to give you a little preview of my warehouse space that I have going on right now. The reason why I'm kind of investing into a warehouse space is try and use my garage as a garage and scrap everywhere. As you can see, here's my driveway. I got a grill there, dog cage I gotta bring up to the warehouse. This is aluminum, so I'm gonna use my handy tool on that to separate it the best possible way, because I did talk to my yard and they said yes, cast aluminum, they'll pay you 40 cents a pound for that stuff, so definitely worth it to strip that. Haven't got around to scrapping because, as you can see, there's no van here, which is the main point of this video. Garage packed to the brim. I have to get this stuff into my warehouse. All this flea market stuff. There's some nice things there. Bob Ross, if you're watching this video, those blow molds, I'm saving for you. $5, you can have them both. They're yellow. I'll throw in a Tonka truck, a small Tonka truck or an Island or something like that. $5, they're yours, buddy. But yeah, that's pretty much my garage space is screwed right now. So I don't know what that was, but here's my new warehouse. So far I've done that side over there, work on this side, clearing it up. It is definitely a lot of work in here. I'm using this as a warehouse for my flea marketing. Flea marketing is a big portion of, I wouldn't say my income, but my work life. I do primarily sell online, but flea marketing, it pays for, you know, the little things. That side still got to be worked on. Haven't painted that wall. As you can see, this wall has been painted. Not the best job, but try to do my best. Painted these red. Already got about a half a van here of junk. The top half is just flea market. The bottom half is all like Christmas stuff and seasonal stuff that once November comes around or October, I'll go to other flea market in my first videos and take that stuff there, because Christmas stuff does sell very well in November. You can almost get close to retail from what I've seen in terms of my own experience, but you can't get retail. Now you can always pick it up cheap. Now, July, June, May, April, whatever, it's not Christmas time. You can buy this entire table filled. One box high, probably for $3 of just Christmas stuff, and then sell all that whole table filled for probably $200, $300. So it's definitely a good investment if you have the space, and that's kind of why I'm trying to do this now. As the years go on, as the months go on, and such forth, I think that's huge in any company, is you have to invest into your product, you have to invest into your service to really get the full picture. And I'm a firm believer of that. And that's how you generate more sales and generate, you know, a happier customer base. But I do want to address the issue that is kind of circulating a lot of things right now. So let's jump to the front porch. Let's go. So hopefully this video is not too close. I'm not really sure about the camera angle and whatnot. So addressing the issue at hand. As you can see, I probably haven't uploaded a garbage picking video in a while. I will not be uploading a flea market selling video this week because I didn't go last week. Last Sunday it was really, really hot. It was very humid in the morning, and I went out garbage picking in the morning. I was doing all right, picked up a couple cords, whatnot, went to get breakfast, came back. I then went out later to go garbage picking, and flashback 1 week ago, or now 2 weeks I guess it would be, and I was out garbage picking, and someone came up to me and said, "Hey, look, someone took my sewer pipe snake, or something like that, and apparently a scrapper stole it from his property that day, probably 20 minutes before I got to that area of the town." And it's a very high-end area. It's not, it's not low-end. It's not very, scummy. Generally a good neighborhood. And he came up to me and he's just like scolding me for, are you on a scrap run? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Do you have this? Is it in your van? Just tell me, be honest. I don't care. I just want it back. And I not pick it up. I don't even know what this guy was talking about. I only know there's only one other scrapper in that area. And by the time I actually got to that area where this thing was stolen, there was actually 2 cop cars there already, taking notes and whatnot. So it happened before I even got to that part of town. After talking to the guy, and saying, whatever, it kind of left an uneasy feeling in myself. Does this guy really believe me? And whatnot. I asked him, what does it look like? How much does it weigh? And he's like, well, I can barely lift it, and this guy was jacked. And he's like, it probably weighs about 200 pounds. Look at me. I'm a twig. I can't lift something that weighs 200 pounds and just throw it in my van. I just can't. It's not physically possible. Maybe when I was in college, maybe when I was somewhat in shape, but I'm not lifting something that's 200 pounds. So the fact that he even thought I can probably lift it, it's kind of concerning. But, through my mind, I started gaining a lot of stress. I started thinking, maybe next week the cops there will set up, a sting or something and stage something. And flashback to this past weekend where I went garbage picking later in the day where it was really hot. I took one turn a little bit too sharp, and I immediately got motion sickness. This happened actually when I first got my van, and I just freaked out. Man, I had an anxiety attack. I pulled over the side of the road. I get about anxiety attack once a year, once every 9 months. I don't know what triggers it. I did have Papa John's the day before, which is actually weird because the last time I had one, I had Papa John's the day before. So that might be it. So I'm quitting Papa John's. I used to get that just because it was cheap, it was close, it was that. So maybe that was the reason, but it was very scary. I had a water bottle in my hand. I was trying to drink water. This was on a Sunday. I should have been at the flea market in the morning. I know I missed out on that. I know I had to get my van inspected. It was getting closer to the end of the month. I knew if I didn't pass inspection, what was I going to do? So that was kind of concerning. I think everything just kind of boiled down with the weather, and it was scary. I had a water bottle in my hand. I couldn't even open my hand for about 20 minutes with the water bottle in my hand. I couldn't drive. I couldn't feel my body. My whole body was tingling. I thought I was going to die, and it was kind of scary, and it kind of made me wonder, is this really worth it? Is it really worth to get stressed out over, someone else possibly stealing something or being accused of something, or, is it really worth it to be out there in 92-degree weather with 100% humidity? Is it really worth it? And so I immediately went home. That was it. And I came back. I went to sleep at 6 o'clock. I took a shower. I laid down on my couch, and I was just sweating. I thought I was going to die. So in that regards, that was the end of that. And then Tuesday came along. Today I think is Wednesday. So it was yesterday. I dropped off my van at the shop to get inspected. And he's like, I know you're going to need shocks and new tires. Other than that, I think it should be fine in terms of inspection-wise, but I'll have to go through everything, and anyone who's seen my van before in person knows that I always talk about there's no coolant in the damn thing. There's no leaks. Well, apparently there's a gasket problem, and there's a radiator problem. And that kind of leads me to the bigger point. This kind of leads me to, is this the end of scrapping? Is this the end of making videos? Is this the end of YouTube? Today he called me, and he's like, hey, you're going to need a lot of work done on your vehicle if you want to keep it maintained. And I can't promise you that the vehicle is going to be 100% perfectly fine, because if that leaked into your engine, which is very possible, you're going to have a bigger problem down the line. He's like, are you sure you want to fix this problem, because you're looking at over $2,000? And I was like, holy crap. I knew in my mind I had to put probably $1,000 into the vehicle once I bought the vehicle, because face it, it's a used vehicle. You probably didn't do a tune-up. You're probably going to need new tires. You're going to need to fix some stupid leak. So I thought in my mind, I'm going to have to put $1,000 in. So that was fine. When I put $1,000 in, a year later, big deal, whatever, it's $1,000. But then when he said over $2,000, I was like, wait a minute, what am I missing here? I was like, well, you're going to need a new mirror because your mirror's cracked. That's another $95. I was like, can't you find me a used one? He's like, sure, we could probably find you a used one. You're going to save $30 or $40. But that's really peanuts compared to your intake system is going to have to be replaced for the leak. You're going to need a new radiator, and if you want to do a tune-up, because we're already there, and you're going to save yourself probably 50% of the labor cost, it's going to be another, god-awful amount, but, it's going to be another amount, but, you're going to have your tune-up done, and this guy appears to have never done a tune-up, so you're long overdue. It's up to you if you want to do it, but given the circumstances, we can check in the system. I can show you he's never done it before through a registered, dealer. If he's an older man, he probably just never got it done, which he was, and, that'll be another, whatever it was, I think it was like $450 or $500 for, like, the mirror and all the spark plugs and coils and rotor stuff. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. And there was a whole list. I checked it out online. I was like, all right, it's not taking me over on this. But once you start adding up, the coolant, the intake, the radiator, the inspection sticker, the inspection, the emissions test, the new mirror. I don't know if I said that. New shocks, new tires. The total cost came out to $2,800. And $2,800 to fix a van that I run for scrap, that I run to the flea market, that I beat up, is it really worth it? And that's what I'm trying to figure out. I love making these YouTube videos. I love doing the scrapping. I love doing the garbage picking. I love doing the flea market. But at the same time, what's really am I getting out of this? I invested $400 into a camera for YouTube. I invested, a whole van that cost me, I believe, $2,800 or $3,000. I think it cost me $2,800. Plus tax and everything is like $3,000 for flea market. The scrapping, the this, the that, the gas. I did all my money. I did all my research. I keep track of how much I make at the flea market. If I add up every single week that I've done a flea market video, which is actually every single week that I've done a flea market this year, including the other flea market that I started out doing at the beginning of these YouTube videos, add that with the scrapping videos, add that with the amount, add that amount to all the money I've made from YouTube, and I break pretty much exactly right on the spot even. I didn't make any money. That means I pretty much made zero amount of money for hundreds of hours worth of work, hundreds of hours worth of labor. I made nothing. And do I really want to continue? If I fix this problem, which there also could be this thing where it leaked into the engine, and a year down the line, or 3 months down the line, or 2 weeks down the line, I could have another problem. What do I do? So I'm kind of at a loss of words. I was very distraught over it. I love making these videos. I love doing scrapping. I love garbage picking. I love flea markets. I love the social interactions. I think that it's coming to a point where it's like, what's next? So it is very stressful. I have a lot to think about. I don't want to essentially blow away everything I've earned this whole spring, whole summer. I put a lot of time into flea marketing. I put a lot of time into scrapping. I put a lot of time into editing. I know if you ask any of the other YouTubers, a lot of the people say it's a lot of time to edit, it's a lot of time to do this, it's a lot of time to do that. The whole YouTube thing is a lot of work to create videos and create content, but it's fun. And, it's fun, and I enjoy it, and it's exciting, and I like the response, and I appreciate all the support. It's definitely been a great time. So in that regards, I do want to continue doing videos. I do want to fix my van. I just have to ask myself, what is the next step? Do I look into getting a completely different van? I don't have the money to buy a new van, obviously. I don't have the money to really even just blow on replacing parts that I don't even know will actually fix the van. You know, I don't know what the next step is. The guy there was like, hey, look, I know you do the flea market stuff. You should maybe invest in a trailer. Just because a trailer, you have no maintenance. You know, you do this, you do that, and that's that. You park it, you leave it. Maybe you should invest in a trailer, and that's what I was originally thinking of doing, but I decided against that because it's not having another vehicle in you know, terms of emergency. It's not, you know, having the luxury of being able to just throw stuff in it and driving along. You can't garbage pick with a trailer, or an enclosed trailer is what he was talking about. And then you gotta lug around a damn trailer all around. Not gonna get a trailer. So if you're still watching this video, you're just watching me rant about everything, you're still wondering why I haven't come out with videos this week. I didn't go flea market Sunday. I'm not going to post a 3-minute garbage picking video because I'm a firm believer of, you know, delivering some sort of content to the subscribers and delivering content to YouTube. I'm not somebody who's going to say, oh, I had a great garbage day picking, blah, 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 this, and 20 minutes of the video is me talking, 5 minutes of it is me doing my own thing, and 3 minutes of it is actually garbage picking. I'm not someone who does that. I don't believe in clickbait in that way, deception and lying. Couldn't come out with a video in terms of flea marketing or garbage picking this week. I don't know about this weekend. He said probably if I even got started doing the repairs, it wouldn't be ready. It's currently Wednesday night. I'm going to try to get this video up tonight. I know it's not going to be a lot of editing because it's simply just me talking. So I'll try to get this video uploaded on Thursday. Hopefully you're watching this on Thursday. And yeah. So, you know, fortunately this is just a monetary thing. It's not something that's physical harm. It's just a money issue. And it's kind of upsetting, but at the same time, it is what it is. In conclusion, don't know what I'm doing. Don't know if I should fix my vehicle. I'm going to still keep on producing more YouTube videos. I'm going to keep on producing more YouTube videos. Don't know if I'm going to be coming out with another garbage picking video shortly. Depends on how fast I get my van fixed. I don't know when I'll be coming out with my next flea market selling video. That also depends on how fast I get my van fixed. And, you know, we'll see how the rest of the year plays out. We'll see how the rest of the week plays out. You know, we'll take it day by day. If you're still watching the video, and you're probably wondering what I'm even ranting about, check out my other videos. I have a bunch of videos on scrapping, garbage picking, all this great stuff. Thank you guys for watching at home. I hope you guys are having a great day. Yeah, until next time, have a great day. Keep living the dream. Peace.